Welcome to Starlit Chapters. Settle in, let the world quiet down, because tonight, we begin a brand new story.
I sat there, watching my boyfriend and his childhood sweetheart pull the act of the century. She had used my credit card to pay tuition for low-income students, building herself the reputation of a generous angel. A few days later, the class charity fund mysteriously disappeared and was coincidentally found in my locker. Every pair of eyes turned on me like I was already convicted. My boyfriend walked up with that fake heartbroken look and said, "Amy, if you confess, I'll wait for you to get out of prison." No one believed me, not the class, not the school, not even him. Under pressure, under judgment, under betrayal, I was sent to jail. When my parents rushed to defend me in court, they got into a car accident on the way. They didn't survive. My boyfriend then swooped in, took over my family's company, and proposed to that girl Chloe, and as I withered away in a cold prison cell, I died. But when I opened my eyes again, I was right back at the moment Chloe used my credit card for her charity donation. Class, the school is launching another charity drive to support underprivileged students, the professor announced with a big encouraging smile. It's meaningful, and it also adds to your service points and academic merit. Anyone interested? My heart clenched. This exact moment I'd lived it before. Right on cue, Chloe Niles popped out of her seat. "Professor, I'd like to donate $50,000. The room gasped. "50,000? Chloe, are you serious?" Chloe lifted her chin proudly, letting her designer necklace catch the light. "It's nothing to me." The class erupted into cheers. "She's beautiful and generous. Chloe never brags. She just does things unlike someone flaunting her cheap tote bag like it's luxury." That last jab came from Dana Yee, our roommate. She shot me a quick, smug glance. My tote wasn't glamorous, sure, but it was practical and durable. Back home, even our housekeeper used the same one for grocery runs. In my last life, I secretly sponsored Chloe all the time. I even gave her a supplementary credit card. At first she only used small amounts, so I didn't care. But when she announced that $50,000 donation, something in me twisted. I still stayed quiet. My family donated millions every year. It wasn't a big deal. But Chloe used it to build her entire perfect angel persona, and I became the shallow, materialistic girl in comparison. Then the class fund went missing. Then Chloe found it in my locker. My boyfriend James Taylor didn't hesitate to call me a thief. "Amy, confess. I'll wait for you after your sentence." I was expelled, imprisoned, my grad school recommendation was handed to her, and my parents died trying to save me. James took over my family company, proposed to Chloe, and became the internet's favorite power couple. Chloe soaked in the compliments, acting humble. "Oh, stop, I just did what anyone would do." Then she looked straight at my tote bag and smiled sweetly. "Amy, that bag looks familiar. It's normal to want nice things, but don't let vanity ruin your future." I ignored her and spoke directly to the professor. "Professor, I'd like to donate $50,000 as well." Her smile faded. She looked at me skeptically. "Amy Huang, are you sure donations aren't a joke? If you can't follow through, that will affect your records, even your grad school recommendation." She frowned. "Think carefully, don't blurt things out just to compete." Chloe seized the opportunity like it was her birthright. "Amy, if you're only saying that because of me, I won't donate. I'd feel terrible if my actions made you do something reckless." Students from low-income backgrounds instantly panicked. "Are you kidding, Amy? You're ruining this for everyone. Do you know how hard it was for us to even get into college? We can't even afford meals. We finally have hope for help. Why would you take that from us? You want to show off, fine, but don't drag us down with you. You're destroying the school community. You don't deserve to be here." Some were so riled up the professor had to physically stop them. The professor looked at me, clearly uncomfortable. "Amy, wanting to help others is admirable, but you also need to know your limits. For your own sake, I think you shouldn't participate in this donation." My brows tightened, my voice cold. "Professor, you don't have the right to decide that for me, do you?" She froze. Before she could respond, Chloe slipped in with her soft, oh so gentle voice. "Professor, don't be hard on her. If Amy really can't donate, I don't mind not donating either." She said it like she was sacrificing herself to protect me. Instantly, the entire class twisted the meaning. "So Amy's the one ruining it? Stop pretending. Amy, can you even afford it? Nobody needs your dirty money." "Professor, we don't agree to Amy donating." One student stood up as their unofficial spokesperson. The professor hardened her tone. "Amy, respect the class's wishes, don't be selfish." I laughed, a cold, humorless sound, and swept my gaze across the room. "Fine, I won't donate. Just remember, you all refuse to let me. Not the other way around." The low-income students immediately turned flattering toward Chloe. "Chloe, Amy's out, so your $50,000 still counts, right?" Chloe shot me a triumphant glance. Of course it does. The professor approached Chloe with a warm smile. If you're sure about donating $50,000, please sign here. You'll have 3 days to transfer it to the school. Chloe picked up the pen and signed like she was autographing her own halo. After class, I grabbed takeout and headed back toward the dorms. Right at the entrance, I saw James and Chloe practically glued to each other. He was gently fixing her hair, both of them smiling like some cutesy couple in a low-budget romance film. When they noticed me, James's face immediately darkened. Amy, I heard you acted out in class donating $50,000? Since when did you start showing off like that? When my expression didn't soften, he changed tactics, his voice gentled. Amy, I'm just worried about you. He sighed dramatically. Your family's comfortable, sure, but $50,000 isn't small money. Do you want your parents to struggle because you got carried away? Then he added, like it was totally normal. Thank God Chloe stopped you. You should really thank her. She had her eye on a jewelry set recently. It's only around $5,000. You should buy it for her as a thank you gift. I stared at him, then I laughed, sharp and cold. James, your ego's insane. You want me to buy a gift for your childhood sweetheart? You're bold. He blinked, startled. I guess past me would have swallowed it. I used to avoid conflict with him, even if it cost money. But this time, I'd already watched my entire life burn because of him. I'd rather set $50,000 on fire than spend another cent on him. James's face went dark immediately. Amy, do you even hear yourself? I tilted my head. Do you want me to repeat it slower? His face turned beet red. Chloe, at his side, played the fragile little dove. Amy, I know you don't like me. I'll try to stay out of the way when you and James are together. Please don't be angry at him because of me. James snapped at me. Amy, stop making a scene. Chloe is like a little sister to me. You blow thousands on bags. $5,000 for a thank you gift isn't a big deal. She'd be your sister-in-law one day anyway. I glanced at Chloe, my voice flat. If she were good enough to deserve that title, she wouldn't need to act pitiful right now. Tears instantly welled up in Chloe's eyes. She looked at me like some victim in a crime documentary. James lost it. Amy, that's enough. Chloe saved you from wasting $50,000. Buying her a gift is basic courtesy, if you won't. He paused dramatically. Then we should break up. I didn't hesitate. Okay, break up it is. Then I turned around and walked straight into the dorm building without looking back. Behind me, I faintly heard James cursing and threatening that I'd regret this. Yeah, not in this lifetime. The moment I got back to the dorm, I immediately froze the supplementary card. This time, I wanted to see exactly how Miss Charity Angel planned to donate $50,000, with no access to my money. A week passed, still no donation from Chloe. The low-income students were getting restless. Even the professor started pushing her. Chloe's eyes turned watery as she stammered. My card, it was stolen in the dorms. I stepped out for just a minute, and when I came back it was gone. She paused dramatically, trembling like a leaf. That day, the only person in the room was Amy. I didn't want to accuse her. I was scared she'd misunderstand. But now I really have no choice. Then she turned to me, tears spilling down her cheeks. Amy, please, just tell me where my card is. I'll give you money if you need it, but I can't delay the donation for those poor students. And just like that, every pair of eyes pivoted toward me with judgment sharp enough to stab. I answered calmly, I didn't take it, but Chloe suddenly dropped to her knees, full-on sobbing in front of me. Amy, I'm begging you, please give it back. The students need this, please. And that was enough. The whole hallway detonated with accusations. The professor arrived face hard. Given the amount involved, the school has to search the room. Do you all agree? My roommates nodded. Of course they did, and the staff barged in to start searching like it was a drug raid. Not long after, someone yelled, "Found it in Amy's closet." Everyone swarmed over. Inside my closet sat a black card with a gold rim, pretty, flashy, deluxe. Gasps, whispers, glares, instant trial by mob. And somehow, James had magically appeared in the chaos. He looked at me with fake heartbreak. Amy, you should confess. Even if you messed up, I'll forgive you. I'll wait for you after prison. I actually laughed. Then I pulled a black and gold card from my own jacket pocket and held it up high. Take a good look, this is mine. James's face twisted. Amy, don't joke. That's a premium black card with a gold edge. You couldn't possibly own one. Dana piped up, eager to stir the pot. I've seen Chloe use it. It's definitely hers. I smirked, calm as ever. Really? Then what about this one? From another pocket, I pulled out a plain black card, identical styling, minus the gold rim. I held it between two fingers like I was displaying evidence in court. Is this the one you meant? Because, fun fact, both are mine. James froze for 3 seconds like his brain blue-screened, then yelled, Amy, stop lying. I don't know where you bought those knockoffs, But you'd better hand Chloe's card back before you ruin her donation. Chloe quickly clung to his side like a distressed plant vine. Amy, I know you might misunderstand me for past things, but the donation is for the poor students. Please give me my card back first. Before I could respond, James snatched the black and gold card out of my hand and shoved it at Chloe. Dana's eyes gleamed with greed as she said, Chloe, just swipe it. If money goes through, we'll know whose it is. Chloe hesitated, then inserted the card, entered her PIN. BEP error, a bright red message flashed, transaction failed. Chloe's face went stiff. She looked at the professor and the others, voice trembling. The card must be acting weird. Let me check again. She stepped aside, pretending to fiddle with banking notifications, then returned looking like she'd been personally victimized. Then she added, voice cracking. Before it got frozen, someone transferred out over $10,000 in one day. And right on cue, Dana jabbed her finger at my desk like she'd uncovered the final clue in a detective show. Amy, those luxury cosmetics on your desk, look at that jade bracelet too. Where did you get money for all that? You obviously used Chloe's card for your stupid vanity shopping spree. The crowd inhaled sharply. Everything went pin drop silent. I could practically see their brains forming the exact same conclusion. Spoiled era steals best friend's card for makeup haul. Too bad for them. I wasn't the same idiot from my past life anymore. James's face had fully clouded over now, voice strict like he thought he was my dad. Amy, are you really still denying everything? Chloe's too kind to even blame you, and yet her card got frozen, and you spent her money. Just replace her donation and we'll let it go. A few low-income students immediately chimed in, like they'd been waiting for someone to signal them. It's because you're greedy and shameless. If Chloe wasn't generous, you'd already be in jail. We need that donation to survive this semester, you owe us. Then Dana shoved her way into my closet and began yanking out my belongings like a feral raccoon. These accessories and bags, that's easily $5,000–6,000. We can use them to offset the debt. I stared at them, hands rummaging through my drawers, tossing my stuff, invading my space like it was a yard sale. And I said very calmly, you all realize this is a crime, right? Breaking and entering, theft, destruction of property. You're not afraid of prison? That froze them for maybe half a second. Then they went right back to ransacking like rabid animals. Dana grabbed one of my handbags and flung it at me. Then she swatted my jade bracelet off the table. Crack! It shattered across the floor in green shards. She sneered, crime, Amy, call the cops. Go on, let's see who they arrest. You stole from the poor. We're just taking back what's ours. Right then, the dorm door blasted open and several police officers stepped in. We received a report. Who called? Every head turned toward Chloe, but she quickly shook her head, all innocence and tears. Not me. I stepped forward unbothered. I did. They stormed my room, stole my belongings, and destroyed my property. I knelt to pick up the broken jade bracelet. My chest tightened, but my voice stayed steady. This bracelet was worth over $40,000. I bought it myself as a birthday gift for my mom. How do you all plan to compensate me for breaking it? Panic flashed in Dana's eyes, but she quickly swallowed it and shouted, stop lying. You stole Chloe's card and now you're trying to blackmail us. You're sick. The professor finally spoke up, looking extremely irritated. Amy, calm down. You're wasting police time and damaging the school's reputation. I laughed cold and sharp. Professor, when they invaded my property, planted evidence, and smashed my belongings, why didn't you say a thing? Why's your outrage only directed at me? The professor slammed her hand on the table. Amy, we all saw what you did. Chloe was willing to let this go, and we were trying to help you salvage the situation. Calling the police, that's biting the hand that feeds you. With this behavior, you're not fit to stay at this school. Chloe stepped forward, playing peacemaker with her trademark fake halo. Amy, let's not escalate this. It's not good for anyone if it blows up. Just cover the donation first. When my card unfreezes, I'll reimburse you. And whatever you spent earlier, consider it my gift. Dana muttered loudly, Chloe, you're too nice. She doesn't deserve your kindness. James tried to physically push me aside as he spoke to the cops. Officers, this is just a misunderstanding. We'll handle it privately. You can go. One of the police officers looked at me instead, waiting, expecting. James's voice dropped into a warning growl. Amy, if you keep this up, you're being unreasonable. Chloe already forgave you. What more do you want? I turned, met the officer's eyes, and said clearly, Officer, I want to file formal charges. Gasped dead silence. I continued, I have nothing to hide. Please investigate everything. I want my name cleared. Then I turned to Chloe, voice slicing through the air. $50,000 is enough to trigger a felony investigation, and everything I own was paid for with my own money. Chloe, are you still claiming that card is yours? Chloe's face drained of color. She stammered. My family gave me that card. They let me use it. Then she switched back to victim mode, tears shimmering. Amy, I don't know what I did wrong, but freezing my card right when I needed to donate. I wasn't going to punish you. Just think about the poor students. Dana immediately snapped. You see. You caused the freeze, don't pretend you didn't. I tilted my head, completely unbothered. Yeah, I froze it so? The room exploded. Students swore. Some tried to lunge at me but held back because the cops were watching. Officer, arrest her. She confessed. I shrug. I froze the supplementary card I own. Is that illegal? The room went silent again. The police officer's brows lifted slightly. Someone finally whispered, wait, what? And that's when I smiled, because the real trap was just starting to close. Under police supervision, we were all escorted to the station for a formal investigation. The moment we stepped inside, Dana exploded like a malfunctioning firecracker. Officers, Amy stole Chloe's card and froze it on purpose. That's literally robbery. I didn't even blink. I simply pulled out my phone and brought up my purchase history, all tied to my card. Then, with a calm swipe, I opened a video file. A tiny surveillance camera viewpoint, there in perfect clarity. Chloe opening my closet, smiling like a damn Disney villain, and slipping the card inside my shelf. The color drained from her face instantly. Clearly, she never expected me to install a secret camera, but after Rebirth, that was literally the first thing I did. Freeze my own supplementary card and set a micro camera inside my closet. Last time, money was found in my locker and ruined my life. This time, I wasn't letting her repeat history. I had already guessed exactly what Chloe planned. Sneak the card into my closet, Gibbs discover it later, Gibbs accuse me of stealing, Gibbs force me to pay the $50K donation in her place. She'd get to keep her sweet generous angel reputation, and my money would pay for her halo. Untouchable, saintly, adored, all funded by me. And she wouldn't have to spend a single cent. Now, she was cornered. Even James and Dana started staring at her with doubt creeping up their faces. Chloe stammered, It's a misunderstanding. I wasn't feeling well recently. I must have put it in the wrong place. I meant to put it in my closet. But then she quickly tried to flip the blame. But even if I misplaced it, Amy, you still can't freeze my card like that. I smiled, sharp as a blade. Funny, I froze my supplementary card. Why would I need your permission? Then I handed both cards to the officers. Can you please check which name these accounts are registered under? It should be under my mother, Linda Watson's. 30 minutes later, the officer returned with the official report. We contacted Mrs. Linda Watson's. Both cards were issued under her name and entrusted legally to her daughter, Amy Huang. Therefore, they belong exclusively to Amy. Chloe's eyes nearly popped out of her skull. Amy, wait, you're the one who sponsored me. James was equally stunned. Amy, you told me your family was normal. How the hell are you the daughter of Linda Watson's, the billionaire? I had always kept things low-key, to everyone else. I came from a normal family. In reality, I helped James behind the scenes more times than I could count. I arranged his internship at my family's company. I funded his little career breakthroughs. And when he mentioned Chloe's poor background, I was the one who anonymously sponsored her tuition. I still remember the day Chloe received the funds. James ran to me, excited like a puppy. My little sister figure finally got help. Someone really kind sponsored her now, she can keep studying. He was so happy, and I idiot that I was felt warm inside, thinking I'd done something meaningful. But in the end, James betrayed me. He sided with Chloe. He let them frame me. He stood by while my entire family was destroyed. And worst of all, he was the root cause of my parents' deaths. If I could go back in time, I'd slap the naive version of myself who ever believed in him. James immediately turned toward the officers, plastering on the fakest smile I've ever seen. Officers, really? This is all just a misunderstanding. We'll handle it privately, no need to waste your time. Then he grabbed my hand like he hadn't just spent the last week calling me a thief. Amy, why didn't you tell me who you really are? If I'd known, none of this drama would have happened. Oh, now he cares. Meanwhile, Chloe stood off to the side, forcing out a shaky, awkward smile, the kind people make when their entire plan collapses and they're trying not to cry. Amy, all of this was just a misunderstanding. We've always been best friends, right? Her voice trembled, inching into pathetic pleading territory. Then she even tried to spin some tragic backstory. I only wanted to donate because I know you have such a kind heart. You helped me once, so I thought you'd want to help others too. I only stopped you from donating earlier because I didn't know your true identity. I didn't want you to overextend yourself. Wow, listening to her rewrite history in real time was honestly Oscar-worthy. At that moment, an officer turned to me. Ms. Huang, how would you like to proceed? Do you wish to pursue legal charges or settle privately? Before I could speak, James shoved himself forward. We'll settle it ourselves. It's all a misunderstanding, officer. The cop shot him a deadpan look. The complainant is Ms. Huang, she chooses. I looked straight at the officer. I'll be pressing charges. My attorney will handle the rest, no private settlement. Then I stood up, completely ignoring the desperate voices calling my name, and walked out of the station without looking back. 3 days later, the police released the official report. Chloe Nash, Dana Reed, and James Grant were each detained for 7 days and fined $500 for property destruction and spreading false accusations. They were also ordered to compensate over $30,000 in damages. The moment the notice dropped, every rumor about me evaporated. Students stopped whispering. The narrative flipped overnight. 2 weeks later, Chloe and Dana quietly slunk back onto campus. But the way people looked at them had completely changed. The question on everyone's mind, is Chloe still donating the $50,000 she promised? But the police notice said nothing about donations. And Chloe definitely didn't have the money anymore. Not after owing $300,000 in damages. The school decided to handle internally. Chloe and Dana, official warnings plus special monitoring. James, disciplinary violation on record during his internship. I reached out to my family's company myself. Naturally, James's internship was terminated immediately. I also cut off every form of financial assistance I'd ever given Chloe. Now she was stuck with massive debt, nowhere near capable of fulfilling the $500K promise she had weaponized for clout. When low-income students kept asking her about the donation, she looked like she was being eaten alive. I'll try my best to gather the money. I've had unexpected issues lately, I'm really sorry. Then she looked at me, eyes pleading. Amy, didn't you want to donate before? Everyone really needs that money, can't you reconsider? Even Dana chimed in, suddenly oh so humble. Yeah, Amy, your family's loaded. $500,000 is nothing to you, but to us, it's literally life-changing. Please help us. I couldn't help laughing, cold and sharp. You're right, $500,000 isn't much to me. I tilted my head, but my family didn't get rich by funding people who spit on us. Their faces all drained of color at the same time. I continued, you were the ones who rejected my donation in the first place. So no, I don't owe you anything, and I'm not paying for someone else's performance again. Silence fell over all of them. Every single person looked like they'd just been slapped by reality. The moment I shut them down, the whole group turned on Chloe instantly. Chloe, this is your mess, one student snapped. You're the one who told Amy not to donate. Now what? You're just walking away like none of this is your problem. Dana Reed followed right behind, her voice dripping with rage. Yeah, Chloe, you were the one who pushed us to guilt Amy. If not for you, we wouldn't be stuck in debt. You'd better take responsibility. Chloe finally snapped, her face twisted into something vicious and unrecognizable. No more fake angel act. Why the hell are you blaming me? She screamed. You idiots believed whatever you wanted. You were the ones mocking Amy every damn day. What, suddenly I'm the villain now? Her words landed like knives, and everyone's faces drained pale with shame and anger. Someone gritted their teeth and stepped forward. Fine, here's the actual question. Are you donating the $50K or not? Chloe scoffed, arms crossed. I'm broke, I'm not donating shit. Dana lunged at her, grabbing her hair. The hell you mean you're not donating? You promised. What are we supposed to do? How do we afford school? Chaos erupted, shouting, crying, clawing, a complete meltdown. Chloe sobbed and screamed until she finally choked out a shaky promise to try to find the money. Pathetic. I just stood there, watching their circus burn to ashes, before quietly turning away. Back at the dorm, I packed every last thing I owned. I had rejected my mom's offer to buy me a private condo near campus because I wanted to fit in and live like normal students. Cute, right? Now that my real identity was exposed, and I saw what these people truly were, I didn't hesitate for a second. I moved out that same night. I had already secured early admission into my master's program. 1 more year of credits and I'd be done. Time to start over. As soon as I walked out, James appeared like a ghost waiting in ambush. He looked absolutely miserable, sunken eyes, messy hair, holding a cheap plastic bouquet from the dollar store. When he saw me, he practically sprinted. Amy, finally. I've been looking everywhere for you. I know I hurt you, I misunderstood you, I disappointed you. But Amy, my feelings for you have always been real, please forgive me. I swear I'll treat you twice as well from now on. I slapped his hand away instantly. James, we're done. Stop showing up. I don't want anything to do with you. His face twisted with desperation. Amy, is this about Chloe? I cut her off, I swear. I only ever saw her like a sister. I didn't know she would hurt you like this. Then he actually dropped to one knee, clutching the plastic bouquet. Amy, if you want, I'll propose right now. We can get married as soon as you graduate. I immediately stepped back, keeping a safe distance. My voice was ice. James, I will never get back with you. What you did disgusts me. And if you keep stalking me, you will regret it. His face darkened, a shadow flickering behind his eyes. Amy, you'll regret leaving me. A chill ran down my spine. 3 months later, on my walk home, I kept getting the eerie feeling someone was following me. My pace quickened, heart racing, phone in hand, when I finally reached my door and exhaled in relief. A hand slammed against the door, stopping it from closing. James, gaunt, unwashed, eyes bloodshot with obsession and hate. You know what, Amy, he rasped. I've been living in a moldy basement, eating stale buns and drinking tap water, drowning in debt. I'm worse off than a stray dog. I froze. Before I could react, another figure rushed up behind him. Chloe, hair messy, eyes wild. Stop talking to her. Just do it. Once we get rid of her, we can finally get out of this hell. The moment I realized the danger, I spun around and bolted toward my bedroom, searching for an escape route. But James was faster. He yanked my hair so hard my knees buckled, and I crashed onto the floor. Chloe rushed in next, landing a brutal slap across my face. You bitch, she screamed. You're the reason our lives fell apart. Once we get your little video recorded, you'll never dare show your face again. James crouched over me, face twisted with hatred and something far darker. His fingers tore at my clothes, his breath rancid. Once I'm done with you, he growled, voice shaking with obsession, you'll have no choice but to marry me. And then your family's money all mine. Cold terror flooded my veins, my heart thrashed against my ribs, but I forced myself to stay calm. James, I said, voice steady despite my shaking, what you're doing is a crime. Chloe let out a sharp, cruel laugh. Go ahead and call the cops, but once that video gets out, the whole world will see what you really are. They leaned in closer, and then, bang, my front door was kicked clean off its hinges. Police stormed in seconds. James and Chloe were pinned to the ground, screaming and thrashing. A female officer rushed to me, draping her jacket over my shoulders. You're safe now, she whispered gently. I stood shakily, rage burning brighter than fear. I walked straight to James and kicked him hard in the ribs. James Grant, I spat, you are even more disgusting than I thought, using this filth to try to trap me? The truth was simple. The moment I sensed I was being followed, I turned on GPS sharing and quietly texted for emergency help. I even pretended to scroll my phone to avoid suspicion. They never noticed. Aftermath. James Grant was sentenced to 3 years in prison for attempted sexual assault. Chloe Nash, his accomplice, who also assaulted me, received 1 year. Justice was served. I finished my degree, moved on to grad school, and continued funding scholarships for students who genuinely needed help. Not because I was rich, but because I finally understood. Kindness should be given to the right people, and justice you fight for yourself. No betrayal could change that. For countless girls who dreamed of studying but were shackled by poverty, my support wasn't just money, it was a doorway into a different life. Years later, one quiet evening, as I scrolled through the news, familiar names flashed across my screen. Local woman, Chloe Nash, fatally stabs former partner James Grant, later found dead by suicide. I closed the laptop. No joy, no pity, just silence. Their story had ended. Mine hadn't. I turned toward my new assistant, a bright young woman with warm eyes, one of the many students I once supported. She was hardworking, hopeful, and on the verge of a future she never thought she could reach. I smiled gently. Work hard, I said. Your future is going to be incredible.
Thanks for listening Under the Stars. If you want another tale, just whisper next story in the comments. Until then, rest easy, like the video so the algorithm doesn't bury us in the dark.